Hi everyone, thank you for coming for the Taiwan Security Consultancy. We'll be going over the scope of the organization. What is the scope of the organization? The scope of the organization is obtaining an ISO certification. In order to get an ISO certification, first we'll be going over the benefits of the ISO certification. The first ISO certification is the client will be assured that their information and data are protected. This is done by implementing the most necessary policies and procedures, making sure that the client has the safest information and data protection. The second one will be reduce any costs that have incurred because of an occurred incident. Why would ISO certification will help on this one? It's because ISO certification will make sure that in case of any data breach, the organization have a backup plan in how to move on and reduce the costs. The third will be to gain more trust and credibility from third parties on the organization information security. How the third party will be assured because because of ISO certification, because organizations will will have more information security policies and procedures. Raise awareness in the organization. This is done by setting up training policies and procedures also. The last will be the certificate has marketing potential and demonstrate the organization take information security and management seriously. This is done because some organizations or clients will ask the companies if they have an ISO certification, and having this will give them ideas and protections on their data and informations. Second will be talking about requirements. There are two types of requirements, that is the internal requirement and the external requirement. The internal requirement is establishing and implementing and maintaining INSMS, assessment and treatment for information risks, and setting up policies. The external requirement is stick to the legal and regular requirement is that means, like, for example, on the different countries data protection acts, making sure that the ISO 2000 and data needed privacy and protection with policies and standards. And since universities handles data about names, dates, birth, credibility information, numbers, examination, financial results of students and their parents and medical records, it's very important to stick to the Data Act. Now we'll be discussing about threat identification. There are different types of threat identification, that is previous incidents that happened, what sort of threat sources, and threat source motivation. So what are the previous incident that happened? There are spam message that was sent but only reported by 2 of the members, but that like 30 of the members responded to this spam message. Academic staff has lost his laptop but didn't have encryption on his laptop, even if he didn't have that even if he didn't have any tests on the computers. The encryption of not having encryption would have caused a lot of harm and damage to the university. Several machines were infected with boots, and this has not been reported. So next we'll be moving to the threat sources. There will, according to our analysis, there is only human threats. We have classified them internal human threat and external human threats. The internal human threats are students, employees that have responded to the spams, or the employee, the knocking manager who didn't report it. The external humans can be hackers who wants the data and information of students, credit card information of their parents or the students, or in general information that would be beneficial for them financially. The other will be other competitive organization who think that knowing inside the university will help them more successfully. Next, we'll be moving to threat source motivation. What are the motivation of internal and external threats? As I discussed, internal will be classified as low likelihood since the lack of modification, because these people that hasn't reported it, it's not because of for gain of financial gain, but rather because there is no policy and procedures of the university that has been set, and they don't know how to report it. The external ones are classified highly motivated. As I discussed earlier, it's because it involves more gain, financial gain or market share gain. Then we'll be going on the controls. What sort of control should be taking over in order to make sure that the organization has more protection. First and foremost, it would be better to have more authentication process for the personal data, set up encryption for the personal data and sensitive data on employees who's using their laptops, uh, set up intrusion detection system to monitoring the unauthorized access in case in case there is an attack on the computers, they will be detected rather spot on rather than later on. Set up access control metrics. This will help to identify who is authorized to access what file, and will set the confidentiality level in accessing files. Set up policies and procedures. This will help us in making sure that what kind of securities should be taken, how when an incident happens, how they should be attended and resolved. Next will be moving on cost of implementation. The company has a 2 billion USD assets in total. Out of this, the 300 USD is recurrent and capital expenditure. From this, 50% is for IT department. Out of that, 4% will be for security measures. And in there, we have classified how the security measure financially should be spent. So there are the pre-certification phase, which, as you can see from the screen, costs 748,800. And here will be scope definition, risk assessment, risk assessment plan, gap assessment, phase 2 redemption plan. Then we will be moving to the pre-classification phase 2, that costs 575,000, and this will be applied for registration selection, ISM development, risk management, if there is any incidents, how this incident should be handled, internal ISM audits. These ISM audits will be done to make sure that the policies and procedures have applied after years on-site certification and audit support. Finally, there will be certification audit, which cost is 375,000. Sorry, 37,500. And finally, there will be the business interruption insurance, which will be 100,000. And this is applied if there is any incident that has happened in an organization. Finally, what is the benefit of implementing the ISMS for the company? There will be a generating of revenue in forms of offering the security consultancy service to other companies who will be needing it. And this will be, since IT security is becoming a very vast business, this will generate more and more money. Research work on IT consultancies. Research work on IT securities and consultancies will be done also. This research work not only put the university on the map, letting know that they have made research workers, but also would generate money for the research that has been made. A lot of grants will come in, and the other means will be providing workshop. the workshop that has been provided will also be generating many